So you want to become a content creator in 2025. Well, you've been wanting to become a content creator in 2020, 2021, 22, 23, and 24, but you've just been putting it off. And now you keep asking, where do I need to start? What do I do? How do I become a content creator? Keep watching this video, y'all. I have been getting a lot of questions on how to become a content creator, where to start, how to push through when it gets discouraging, when you feel like an imposter. And y'all, as someone who is still figuring it out to this day, I do have a few tips that I have learned that I would have loved to know early on in my journey. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. So if that's what you're here for, I got the notes. If that's what you're interested in, y'all, then keep watching this video. So I always get the question of how I even got into content creating. So if you're new here, hey girl, my name is Ashley Janaya. I've been a content creator, a for real content creator for like 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years. And recently started growing, just now like I said, figuring it out, really taking my own advice that I'm about to give y'all. And what made me become a content creator, y'all, I think it just happened naturally. I love the camera, always had a phone, like always taking pictures, always doing that. And once the content creating space like kind of just blew up, and it really sank in that no, it's real money to be made in the content creating space, I just started doing it, y'all. Like, I just started doing it, and I had the same apprehensions as the person who's watching this video. I didn't like the way I sounded on camera. I didn't like the way I looked on camera. I didn't have the most luxurious apartment. I didn't have the most luxurious nothing, y'all. Hell, I still don't. That's what I'm trying to still don't. So whoever is watching this, that's just going to bring us right into tip number 1. Start where you are. Start where you are, y'all. It does not matter. It does not matter what your circumstances are. If you have breath in your body, and you got something that you can press record, and you got something that you can upload to this platform, start where you are, y'all. It does not matter. If you're not, like I said, if like myself, if you don't have the most luxurious this and the most luxurious this, the most aesthetically pleasing this or that home, a car, wall, backdrop, if you don't, y'all, you literally have to get creative and figure it out. I remember when Kyra first got on YouTube, y'all, she would literally flip up her mattress to record her videos at her mom's house. Like, there should be no excuse. Start where you are. You do not need all this expensive equipment. Now, I will say, you do need some lights, because these days it's 2025 and you definitely have to keep up. So you do need a good lighting setup. Lighting is everything. So, because that's going to determine if somebody's even going to watch your video. Nobody wants to watch a blurry video, y'all. I'm sorry. Those days are completely over. Nobody wants to watch a blurry video. So definitely your lighting. But when it comes to what you're going to record on, I say if you have an iPhone 12 and above, baby, flip that phone and get to recording. If you're just someone and you know this is what you're gonna do and you don't mind going out and spending a little money on a camera, y'all, the Sony ZV-1F, that's what I'm currently shooting on. I believe it's like $300, or if you want to get the Sony ZV-1, if I'm saying it wrong, y'all, sorry. But one of them is $300, the one like I have, and then the next one is like $700 to $800. Those are great starter cameras. The only thing that I don't like about my camera that I have is that it does not have a flash. But other than that, it gets the job done, baby. Trust me. So that's number 1. Start where you are. Tip number 2, y'all, so we can just go ahead and get it out the way, because I already know, like, I didn't even want it to be number 1 because I know somebody was going to scroll. But tip number 2, so like I said, we can just go ahead and get it out the way, is you do have to be consistent. I know y'all tired of hearing it, but you do have to be consistent, and consistency looks different for everybody. So instead of people just saying be consistent, you have to decide what does consistency look like for you. So if consistency looks like, for YouTube in particular, if consistency looks like posting 1 to 2 times a week, then you have to consistently do that every week, 1 to 2 times a week. If you're on other platforms where you're doing short form content and you can afford to post a little bit more, you have to decide what consistency is going to look like for you. And you also have to keep in mind that the amount of consistency is also going to determine your growth, how fast and how far you grow. Well, I ain't gonna say how far, but definitely how fast, because if you're someone who like, okay, well, I can consistently post once a month, then yes, obviously it's going to take you a little bit longer than somebody who's consistently posting 1 to 2 times a week. So that's why when people, it sounds cliche to say consistency, but I promise you, if you disappear, they're going to forget about you. Especially if they don't know you yet, sis. You disappear, they're going to forget. They're going to forget about you. Sorry. They're going to forget. Tip number 3, y'all, and these are in no particular order. Hell, I'm just going off what I got in my notes. But tip number 3 is freezing in Georgia right now. Sorry. Tip number 3, y'all, is to stop looking at the numbers. If you have the YouTube Studio app, y'all, stop looking at that damn app. Stop looking at the app. Oh my goodness. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. When I tell you that YouTube Studio app is like my worst nightmare, because you literally will find yourself clicking on the YouTube Studio, refreshing that screen, and nothing has changed, and you're gonna get discouraged. So you have to stop looking at the numbers, especially if this is something you genuinely want to do. You have to stop looking at the numbers. You just have to. I don't know what else to say. The numbers, the only reason why, the only way that you can pay attention to the numbers is if you're paying attention to the data and you're paying attention to your analytics. Now, that's different from looking at every video and thinking is it's going to blow up. That's when I mean stop looking at the numbers, because every video is not going to blow up. Take it from me. Every video is not going to blow up. So that's why I say stop looking at the numbers. Now, when it comes to analytics, absolutely pay attention to your analytics. And that's going to kind of bring us into tip number, I believe is 4. That's going to bring us into tip number 4, because when you're paying attention to your analytics, it's going to tell you, YouTube is going to tell you what videos are performing the best, what hooks perform the best, what thumbnails perform the best. They're going to give you all those details about your videos. They're also going to tell you what your consumers are searching, so you can start creating videos that pertain to that search topic. So then you definitely want to pay attention to your analytics, but the numbers, no. So like I said, tip number 4 is pay attention to what's trending, and you have to adapt. That is the key to longevity, y'all. You have to be able to adapt to what's going on. Like right now, YouTube used to be a platform where you could just show up with a dingy background and a dingy lighting and post this hour-long video and everybody's gonna stay around to watch it. But now the world is moving so fast. People's attention spans are so short, even on a long-form based platform. So you have to get right to the point. You have to get right to the point. I'm even noticing now that the FaceTime like videos are doing better on YouTube. Hence why I'm outside in the 19th degree weather in my car. Because y'all, you gotta adapt. You gotta adapt, and you just gotta keep, you gotta keep up. You have to keep up, or you're gonna get left behind. You heard it here first. Pay attention to the trends and adapt. Every trend is not going to be for you. And that's when you have to pay attention to what your niche is, what your values are, what is your brand identity? What are all of those things? So every trend is not going to be for you. But when it comes to what's working on the platforms, that's what you have to pay attention to, y'all. And you have to adapt. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, oh my God, but still, like, where do I start? I'm still like, y'all, you literally just have to record. I promise you, your first video is going to be the hardest. The first video is going to be the hardest because you're like, oh my goodness, I'm finally putting myself out there. But once you put that first video out there, the jitters are going to be gone. The fear is going to be gone because you've literally conquered your fear and you've kept going. So if you're someone who's like still like, oh my God, but I still don't like this and I still don't like this, then you need to reevaluate some other things. Maybe you're just not ready yet. But if you're just like, you just need that extra push, sis, this is the push. Go on out there. This is the push that you need to just go on out there, y'all. My last and final tip, this one is near and dear to me because when I first started being a content creator, y'all, I did not want a niche. I did not want to niche down. Niching down was like so boring to me. I get bored extremely easy. So doing the same type of content over and over, and I'm like, oh, they're tired of seeing it. They don't want to see it. They've seen it already. So the tip number 5 is find your niche, but in this way. So I got this tip, y'all, from DeAndre Brown. Y'all know DeAndre. Love DeAndre down. I don't know if he's the creator of it. I don't know who, whatever. But it's the 70-20-10 method. 70, 20, 10. So when it comes to finding what content you're gonna post, use the 70, 20, 10 method. Y'all, this method has helped me tremendously, because like I said, I was somebody who did not have a niche. I knew I like hair, I knew I like makeup, I know I like beauty, and I also knew I like lifestyle. But every now and again, I also like to do this, and every now and again, I also like to do that. So y'all, the 70, 20, 10 method literally helped me, because it put numbers with reality, if that makes sense. So 70% of your content is gonna be your niche, what you want your audience to know you for, what you want to be known for, what you want people to come back to you for. That's that 70%. 70% is a lot. 70% is a lot, y'all, but that's what you're gonna be known for. So if you're into fashion, 70% of your videos need to be about fashion, and you want to keep the same, most of the time you want to keep the same background, you want to keep the same aesthetic, you want to keep the same style for the most part, until your audience gets to know you. That's that 70%. The 20%, if you want to be in beauty, so 70% fashion, now we got the 20% beauty. That 20% is so you're like me, you don't get bored, and you can end up throwing in some beauty content in there, but only 20%, because you don't want to confuse them and be like, damn, I thought she was doing fashion. So you get 20% of the beauty. So if you want to do a makeup tutorial, or you want to do a lip combo, or you want to show us how you did your hair for the first time, like that's that beauty that you get to slide in there, that, you know, give the girls another little shink the dink of who you are. Now the 10%, is you got to be careful, because a lot of people get the 10% and they end up taking it off with it, and they think that needs to be the 70. No. So the 10%, so let's say you're also enjoy lifestyle. That's where that 10% comes in. So like your vlogs and the trendy quick little sounds, or the trendy little dances. So that 10%, that's that 10%. The lifestyle piece of it. So if you want to say, oh, come with me to get my nails done, or come with me grocery shopping, or come with me, spend the day with me, day in the life, you know, that's that 10%, if that's what you're doing. If you want fashion to be the bulk, beauty to be the next, and lifestyle. Y'all get what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna put a graph in here, but yes, the 70, 20, 10 method, y'all, has literally put things in perspective for me and really made it like make sense, because whoo, I was all over the place. So for me, the 70%, y'all, has become my car videos. The 70% has become my car videos. Some kind of way y'all like hearing what I got to say, or, you know, I don't know. It's weird. But yes, that has become my 70%. My 20%, of course, is beauty. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to do my makeup. That is that 20%. And of course, the 10% is the lifestyle. So yeah, I love the 70, 20, 10 method. Again, I give credit to DeAndre. I don't know who made it, but it works. And I think you should try it. But yes, y'all, so I only got 5 tips for y'all, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys. If you're looking to become a content creator in 2025, let me know if you found this video helpful. And if you have any other questions about anything that I said in the video, let me know down below in the comments. I'm gonna give y'all a quick recap if you like me and you need to bring it all in. So the first tip was what start where you are. The second tip was be consistent. The third tip was, what was the third tip? The third, stop looking at the numbers. The fourth tip was pay attention to what's working and adapt. And the fifth one, y'all, we just talked about it, is the 70-20-10 method and finding your niche. But yeah, that's all for today's video. Let me know again, y'all, if y'all found it helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Turn on your post notifications so you don't miss when I post a new video. Your girl is about to get up out this car because it's freezing. And I will see y'all next time, okay? Bye.